Good morning, Survivor Nation. This is Survivor Speaks. Just dropping by with a quick message that was placed on my heart. I had did a recording already, and as I thought, it was not taping. So I'm going to get on here and do it again. So this morning, I just want to talk about mental health really quickly. Um, there are people in life that all of us know that are so strong. And so a lot of people take that advantage of that and think that they can run to them when they are having an issue and a problem, but whoever checks on them, right? So, the my message today is to check on your strong friends. Make sure they are okay. Everyone is so used to leaning on them. A lot of times, people that take on that role are not, um, they don't want to let you know when something is going on, right? And 2024 has been 2024. There has been a lot going on in the world, on these YouTube streets, on social media platforms, period. We watch a lot of things, and subconsciously it can um alter, and bring up some emotions within us, and we don't even know it. Or, like I said, people that are usually strong when it comes to everything, um they are not. And so I just want to say, check on those people that you believe that is so strong, somebody that you may lean on and you call all the time. And just because they're your shoulder to lean on, they could be going through something, and because they know you're going through so much, they don't want to share it with you that they're going through something, because you know um they don't want to share with you that they're going through something, because they may be thinking in their mind that it might, be too harsh for you. But I want to just tell you to check on your strong friends today. Check on your mental. I suffer from anxiety. I am not ashamed of that. I'm a triple negative breast cancer survivor. I went through 8 rounds of rigorous chemotherapy, um, with a double mastectomy. Mastectomy means I had both of my breasts moved, recon with a reconstruction, and a lymph node dissection from under my left arm, which means that they've removed some of the left lymph nodes from under my left arm, because um they were cancers that is spread to my lymph nodes. So that's what that means. And so then, I have that going on. And then I had my surgery first, because the type of cancer that I had was so aggressive. Like, the tumor was growing at an alarming rate. So they opted to remove first, and then do chemo afterwards. And then 2 weeks after that, I was rushed back to the emergency room because my intestines was twisted, something that they did during surgery. So my intestines was twisted, and so they had to open me back up and see if they can clip in, repair the intestine. And I'm so glad they were able to, because guess what? Always try to look on the bright side of things. I could be wearing a colostomy bag. I'm too young for that. My daughter was 5 months at the time that I was diagnosed, and I had a 13-year-old son. They both needed me. So I do want to say this. So the diagnosis does not mean death, and your mental health and the way you think does play a huge, huge part in your healing. And that's when it comes to anything, but it definitely does. So, I got the diagnosis. I got this 5-month old baby home. Yeah, I got to fight. That was all. That's what it was for me. It was, you got to fight. You got to get through this one. So, I did, came out, kicked cancers, you know what, over 16 years ago. And I've still been, going. But, I've lost a lot of people close to me with that had breast cancer. And so that kind of bothers me too. As sometimes, if it sounds a little crazy, right? It kind of bothers me because, I had such an aggressive cancer, and I came up, I'm still here 16 plus years later, and they're gone, and they were like people that were close to me. That so yeah, so it bothers me. And so then another thing is that I a lot of people, ask me privately to speak with people, someone that had just been diagnosed with breast cancer. I'm not a doctor by far. I'm just somebody that did a lot of research when I told that I had cancer, and they told me they didn't do too much research on it, because at the time it was considered a black woman in Africa in Latina breast cancer. A lot of that's what they saw in the cases, but that does that mean that you not try to find a cure or try to find something to treat those people with? But I think that's all hogwash. I don't think cancer doesn't know any color. Cancer is an intruder that just shows up in your life and tries to take you out of here. That's the way I look at cancer. It shows up in your life and it's like, yeah, I'm here. And if you know what, we're going to fight and we're going to see which one of us is going to win, right? That's the way I look at it. And I won. I kicked cancers. What? So, I am not ashamed of that at all. So I'm not ashamed of, having anxiety. Like any little thing triggers my anxiety. So, I try to make sure I keep that in check. And the soonest that people start to let people know that mental illness is a thing, but that it can be helped through therapy. It doesn't also always have to be medication, right? It can be helped through therapy. You may need to speak to somebody that you don't know, because there's a lot of people that just don't trust out here. They don't trust people. They don't trust people with their business. And if you're on these YouTube streets, you can tell why, because people will weaponize what you tell them. No one can ever weaponize, my my breast cancer or anything else, um, my anxiety, anything. It's because I share it for education, a tool about what I've been through. So I've been battling some things for a couple months now. It has nothing to do with cancer, but um it's just that they're having a hard time trying to figure out what it is. Some days I'm just in a lot of pain, and until they find out what it is. Sometimes I have a hard time walking, and it's really crazy because it just came out of nowhere. Like, it's been about 4 or 5 months I've been running back and forth, and still they haven't found out anything. So, the moral of me coming on this morning for this live was to say good morning, check on your strong friends, but not only your strong friends, just check on anybody that you may know. You never know. It doesn't always mean that somebody's having an issue and they need money. It's a thing that it could be somebody is having an issue and they need resources. You may have the resource that they need, or you may be able to point them in a direction of where they can um get help, or point them to somebody that may be able to point them, and help them move in the right direction. So I'm also a DV survivor. And so, that really added to, what things were. But that was way over 16 years ago. But believe it or not, still triggers. It's still a trigger. And so, like, I don't see, and that this may really explain a lot as to why, you know, I'll never uh get on here and talk bad or drag Krishan. She's a young girl going through some things. She needs God, and she doesn't really. And I know she's hard headed, so that plays a big part, right? She's hard headed, but she's in love, and I think we've all been there. And so, yeah, I'm gonna extend her some grace because I know some people that are going through it, that are sitting behind here on this keyboard typing all of these things to her, and they're going through it at home themselves. And so, and then also, like, talking about her child, distorting his figure, and putting it up to fit a narrative that something is wrong with him, that, now his grandmother's playing a role in as well. So, you're always going to see me extend her some grace. I think she's a very talented young lady. You should try listening to some of her music. She makes music of substance. I think people don't want to give her a chance because um, of what they see online. But you gotta, if you go back further prior to when she met Blue, you will see that she was, you know, a very good athlete. She was on the ultimate race, you know, and all of that. And I just think that they tried to quiet all that down. They don't want you to notice that side of her. So I'm glad she's getting back to her. I think this is going to do, you know, a lot for her mental, playing football again. So I'm glad that she's doing that and getting, back to her. I know she took a lot of people by surprise because, she removed herself from the whole Bad Girls reality show. And for me, that's a win-win for her. So anyhow, I don't want to make this about Krishana. I'm just using her as an example and telling you why I give her so much grace, because you know I've been through. Only thing about me is it didn't take me 7 times to leave. It took me one, but the one was bad enough, right? So I just, I don't understand, and I'm not, I like all women. I have friends everywhere. I've modeled in a lot of places with a lot of different races and professionally. And so, um, it's not that. What bothers me is when African American women sit on the panel and talk about her. I think it's disgraceful, and especially when African Americans sit on the panel and talk about her with um, a man. No man has the right to bully a young girl. So she's not only being bullied herself because she won't conform to what they want her to do, she's also, her child is also being bullied. He's 6 months old now. And I don't care what she gets on here and if she says stuff out of the way a lot of times, that's why people don't like, you don't give her a chance. Listen to her music. She has a lot of substance in that music. And I'm telling you, some of her music will have you in tears. And she's talking about her life. But she was somebody before this. And so I think people need to give her credit where credit is due, because she actually resurrected someone's career that was extinct, dead. I thought the man only had one song, and that's the remix with Cardi B. So if it wasn't for her, I would not know who this guy is. If it was not for her, nobody would know who his mother is. And she's one of the biggest culprits. Yeah, and she had to point out that she was in a movie house party dancing off beat. That's why the man rap off beat, because the mother, they ain't got no rhythm. But I'm not here for that this morning. So yeah, I'm here to tell you, check on your people and love on yourself. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't leave you with this. Make sure that you are getting your mammograms. Make sure you're doing your self breast examination. Make sure you're filling on those boobies to make sure that you are all right. All right. So I am Survivor Speaks, and see ya in the next one. Peace.
Keep it diva, keep it diva, keep it diva. I have arrived. Keep it diva, keep it diva, keep it diva.
Alexa, cut it off. It's got my head spinning.